Hey guys, welcome back to Ansuini Live on this Thursday, April 29th, 2021. Looks like we have my messages blowing up as they tend to do. Do Not Disturb is now on for the next hour. Hello. My goodness, we have just quite the bit of news to talk about, things to talk about, hangout times. It's been a while. I guess it's been exactly 1 week. Actually, not quite. It's been less than 1 week because I believe the last time I did one of this. No audio. You guys not getting any audio? What do you mean we're not getting audio? Let's see if I can't do advanced audio properties. One moment. We are doing a new mic setup. Perhaps this is better. It looks like it was in mono before. I have previously been using, for podcasts and whatnot, just an overhead lav mic. But for some reason, when I went to set up today, it wasn't connecting. So we're using the good old-fashioned podcasting microphone, which looks like it wasn't quite configured properly. DJ is saying the audio is good. Coming from DJ, I know it's good. Yeah, I now need to sneeze. All right. Welcome back, guys. This has been a while. Hey. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Now that everything's working. Julian, this guy's always first. I think actually 2 weeks ago, he wasn't first, but he's yet again king of being first. I think Grant beat him a little while back, but that's all right. Welcome, Julian. Thanks for joining. Always first. I do appreciate that. Hello, Alpha. Welcome. Nathan Matthews. Nathan Matthews and I have some exciting stuff going on behind the scenes at the moment. Glad you could join, Nathan. Excited to have you. Hola to you. I don't speak a ton of Spanish, but I'm pretty sure that's Spanish. Alpha says, will that 1.5 minutes end any faster? Well, unfortunately, I do not have control over time-space continuum at the moment. I am working on it. Cube 1 was for, a G4 Cube and an M1 Mac Mini, but Cube 2 is going to be the Tesseract, so I can have control over the space-time continuum. That is Cube 2 Alpha. Simon says, hello, Simon. Thanks for joining. Good to see you again. Alpha says, bonjour. Okay. Hola, bonjour. We're getting all the words. And Scott is here. Hi, Scott. It's been a while since we've chatted. Good to see you. Glad you could join. I know, this guy again. I know. Who am I? Who am I even? I'm just like some dude on the internet. Hi, Scott. I guess that would make you some guy on the internet as well, Scott. Simon says, hola. Oi. That's how you say yes in French, I think, right? Scott knows French, and he used that exact O-L-A with a thingy, and I Googled it, and it meant something. I don't remember what it is at the moment. Don't sue me. I don't advertise that I speak other languages. Yo! Jordan! Hey! I don't know if you've ever been on an Ansuini Live. Thanks for tuning in, Jordan. Excited to see you. Thanks for saying hi. Stick around because we have a question of the week coming up in just a moment, which you will be forced to answer if you want to participate any further, Mr. Jordan. Grant says bonjour. Nathan Matthews, who are you talking about? Scott. Simon says, be careful, Scott. He's famous now. I am not famous, and I will tell you guys can be the people to help me remember that I'm not famous. Scott was the first one. He is contractually obligated to be my friend to remind me that I am just a dude and nobody important. So appreciate that. Alpha says T-minus 10 seconds. No audio. All right, so we got through all that. Bro, why do I always have to do a show while you are live? Oh, Grant. Well, because it's Thursdays, and it sounds like maybe you guys have a Thursday night show that, we have. All right, so there's, Grant says, Cap, there's audio. Well, good. All right, everyone's saying we can hear me. Great. Yep, I fixed that, Alpha. You should be getting it on both channels now. Sorry about that. Good. All right. Wow, Scott is blessing you, and GJ's blessing me, and that's because I sneezed. Thanks, appreciate that. Delayed blessings are good. Alsano, hello. Jordan says hello. Alpha says iMac. Alsano, I'm listening to Randy's new album for the first time, and I just love it. Ooh, that is a good album. You guys should definitely go give it a listen. Obviously, once we're done with the Ansuini Live here. It's a good album. But yeah, there's also other good albums by other people who are currently in the chat. Let's see. Feels good to be home from vacation. Glad you're back, Alpha. Nathan says, "What's the new question of the week?" We'll get that in about 10 seconds here. I want to finish the chat here. Scott gives the face palm. No. Olá is Portuguese for hello. Okay. Oi, ui is French for yes. Okay. See, I don't know many languages. I took a year of high school Spanish and 2 years of high school Chinese. I do not advertise that I speak either of those languages because I don't speak either of those languages. So sorry. Hope that I didn't offend anybody too much. But very very cool that you guys know multiple languages because I wish I did. Scott knows French very well. He sure does. Either that or he knows how to use Google Translate very well. Alpha says, say yes in French. It's oui. I know that, but whenever I read it, it looks funny. All right. To be clear, I said we no idea where Nick got. Oh, whoa, whatever the heck he said he's from. Yes, I know. I don't know anything. All right. Let's get away from my language skills, which are in the negative at the moment. Let's get to the question of the week. If you have never been on the Ansuini live streams on Thursday nights, you don't know the rules. And I feel like in order to make sure that everyone knows the rules, we should say the rules at the beginning. I'm especially talking to Jordan if he's still listening, because I don't remember Jordan ever being here again or before. The rules to Ansuini Live, super simple. If you want to watch the show, you have to participate. This show is not me talking at a camera. It's us chatting together and just having a fun time. So we appreciate the interaction. So this conversation can go in any direction that you want, as long as it's uplifting and edifying and, not a trashy conversation. You guys can ask any questions, bring up any topics, whatever you want. This is a chat to just hang out and have some fun. And at the end of the day, pass some time waiting for our Apple products to be delivered. Question of the week. This is a question. If you want to watch the stream, you have to answer the question of the week. The question of the week is this. I need to word this correctly. It has to do with the theorem of your 5 closest friends. Now, you don't need to tell me who your 5 closest friends are, but what I want to know is, do you think that your 5 closest friends, on average, when you take those 5 closest friends and you average them out, do you think that they are pushing you in a direction that is better for you? Now, you can define how better for you is in whatever way you think is important, but for me, I have 5 closest friends. A few of them are in the chat right now. Won't name drop because I'm not asking you guys to name drop. But those 5 friends, I've noticed, have been pushing me towards being a better person in multiple different areas. And each of these friends has a different way that they impact my life. And it's important because I've heard many times that you are the average of your 5 closest friends. And I've subscribed to this idea for quite a little while, that you need to have a good handle on who those 5 closest friends are, and, just be aware of who they are and who they're pushing you to become. Because if you don't pay careful attention to that, you can easily become friends with people who will not make you a better person and make you, not who you want to be. So I figured I'd bring this up as the question of the week. Do you think your 5 closest friends on average are making you a better person, how you want to be a better person? So let me write that in the chat, because, and I can now pin things, because Jay and I believe Model Y Mike helped me figure this out last week. So, of your 5 closest friends, are they pushing you to become a better person? Okay. That is the question of the week. Let's see here. Pin that message. All right, we got the message pinned. That is the question of the week. Everyone is contractually obligated to answer that question, at least in generalities, or acknowledge that you don't want to answer the question. I know this one's a bit more personal. Normally, they're kind of more funny, like, what's your favorite color or whatever. So, if you don't want to, I won't hold you to this one. But that's the idea of the question of the week. Everyone interacts, and it's a good conversation starter. So yeah, I already answered it. If you'll, we'll get back to the chat here, and we will then pick up on another topic, which I do have. Normally, I don't have a ton of monologuing items, but this week I do. So steer the conversation where you will before we get on the monologue, I guess. Let's see. Nathan says Nathan agrees with Scott and says, yeah, it's pronounced we. Still working on Project Wolf Song, halfway through recording one. Ooh, Alpha, good job. Excited to hear it. Simon says Nintendo Wii. That's pretty funny. I like that. Jordan is still listening, and it is his first time here. Well, thank you for joining, Jordan. Excited to have you here. This is important, historic, might I say, earth-shattering day where you have tuned in for the first time to Ansuini Live. There's only one time that is the first, and I'm glad that you spent it with me. Thank you, Jordan. We appreciate the interaction. Aha. Simon, I see what you did there. All right. Grant said something completely in French. It looks like it says French secret at the end there. Club French secret. We're going to use Google Translate because I am lazy and don't know how to speak French / don't want to ask Scott what that says. So we'll do bang GT, I believe. If you're on DuckDuckGo, if you do ! GT, yep, that takes your query directly to translation, Google Translate. It says, Grant said, we can have a secret French secret club. Wow. Well, that is either Google Translate saying things poorly or other people saying things extremely poorly. Okay. All right. So, where did I skip back? There we go. All right, so then we have my pinned comment. We have Simon saying, typing it on notes. Be back with you in a bit. Oh, wow, Simon has a verbose answer. I appreciate that, Simon. This will be a good conversation. Scott. Scott makes the obvious joke here. Nick assumes I have 5 friends. I know for a fact you do have 5 friends, Scott, because I have been banned from meeting them, and I'm pretty sure you have at least 5 of them. Jordan says, better for me is mixed. I don't have a ton of close friends, but my friends are not just talking about their dreams, but actively pursuing them. Now I just need to follow them. Now I just need them to follow God as well. That is very true, man. I can't agree with you more. Yeah, not just talking about. This is a big problem that I have, and I actually picked up this idea or fundamental value from Elon Musk. He has a big thing against people who just talk about stuff all day, and I've noticed this a lot in my personal life. I do have friends and even family members who talk about stuff, and they talk a big game, and they talk about how they're going to do this or do that, or have all this project, and they have all of these big conversations, but they never actually do it. And I find myself in my default state kind of shifting towards that. Just talk about it. Talk is really cheap, and it's a lot of fun to just talk about all of your big dreams and ideas. But at the end of the day, the rubber does need to meet the road at some point. And it's important that you surround yourself with people who are able to make the rubber meet the road. Now, what that is defined as is kind of up to interpretation. But anyway, all right. Alpha says, I wish I knew because friends are very hard for me to come across. I'm often the one who has to push myself to be better due to a lack of support. Okay, well, Alpha, I think if you tried really hard, you could probably find some friends, I would imagine. But, if you want to be a lone wolf, as the saying goes, that's up to you as well. Scott says, but in all seriousness, I think so. I would hope so. One gets me to spend too much money on Apple products, though. Oh, wow. Drew is just Scott's friend here, trying to get him to spend too much money on that new iMac. Last I checked. Okay. Good at Life says, short answer, yes. Normally I overthink and stress a lot of things, but at the same time I procrastinate a lot, but they keep me from going insane and keeping me level-headed. That is a very good point, Good at Life. Very important to have people that kind of balance you out. I've noticed a lot in some friendships that I've had. Either they'll play into my weaknesses and kind of I'm not by default, but I definitely have a large streak of fear built into me. If you've watched the Pixar's Inside Out, which I believe Mike and I are going to review at some point, it's a Pixar movie. That little purple guy, Fear. I feel like if I'm not keeping on top of things, I can let him be in control quite a bit. And I've noticed with some past friendships that I've had, that I would they'd help me play into that fear factor, and I wouldn't actually ever get anything done because, I'd always be crazy feared or try to procrastinate because I was too scared to do stuff or stress and overthink about it. And that's just not really good. And so it's very important, and I'm glad Good at Life has noticed this, that you need to find friends who help you to stop going insane and help keep you level-headed. So Good at Life, I appreciate that answer. That's awesome. Alpha says, I'm actually very socially challenged. Exampled, I really made people in the Tailosive Discord extremely mad on Monday. Oh, well, I don't know anything about that, Alpha. It's probably best if you try not to make people mad, at least if you want to have friends, which you don't have to have friends if you don't want to. That's entirely your decision. But I'm very sorry to hear that you're socially challenged. I think though, I have high hopes that you could if you tried, and not to say that it's easy, because it's not. Being friends with someone is very difficult sometimes. You got to have that emotional vulnerability, and you got to find that person who's willing to connect with you. All right, Nathan says, yes, I believe so. Most of my friends motivate me to do better either in social interactions, as an artist, or morally/spiritually. That is really good, Nathan. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you got to have those friends who build you up and get you to a place where you can help others, right? Like the whole world's about you helping others and other people helping you. And so that's awesome that you've found friends that motivate you. And I'm glad to hear that, Nathan. Jordan says, but their drive pushes me to do better. They make me feel lazy, which is a good thing. Well, to a point, it might be a good thing, Jordan. I won't pretend to know who you're thinking about. But I would hope that nobody makes you feel lazy, because you do stuff, man. I know you. And so that's good to hear, though. Motivation is a good thing, and sometimes internal motivation is hard to come by, so that external kick in the pants is kind of important sometimes. All right, Alonso, I think I've been mispronouncing it. Alonso. I've had friends come and go throughout the years, but my 5 closest friends in high school always have tried to make me a better person, and I try to do the same for them. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? That's the whole 5 closest friends thing. It doesn't have to be exactly 5. It could be 3 or 10 or whatever. But those close group of friends that you have, they're either pushing you on average to be a better person, or they're pushing you on average to be a worse person. And what a better or worse person is kind of subjective. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're having that good experience as well. Okay, wow, looks like we've got a ton of super chats flying by here. Let's see. All right, Barrett Burns. I think I've seen you recently, but that might be a new profile picture, because I don't remember the blue profile picture. Where is the Cube One? You're actually being streamed on the Cube One right now. It's just off camera. Everything is running through the Cube One right now. So you are, in a way, inside of Cube One. If you were wondering where Cube One is, you are inside of it at the moment. At least the processing bits that are taking this video stream, this audio feed, combining together, compressing them up to a web format, and then uploading it to YouTube's ingest server, and then YouTube's ingest server takes it from there and distributes it to you guys. Let's see. Yeah, let's not get too political here. Anyway, Simon says, overall, I think my 5 closest friends push me to be a better person, not on everything, but as a person, yes. That's good. It looks like he might have sent that twice by accident here, and I want to read all of Simon's together. I'll get back to you, Nathan, and if I forget, please remind me. Simon said, my group of friends have been pushing me to follow what I want to do in the last year since my ex broke up with me. They've motivated me to get in shape, 44 pounds down, 170 now. That's awesome. Excited to hear that. And follow my love for music. I think on college stuff I slack a bit. I slack a bit due to it. But the last year I was more close with them, and I feel like I've improved so much and like myself more now than ever. I'm sorry, I read that terribly. I'm not the best reader in the world. I'm not a very good reader. But yeah, all right. Well, glad to hear that, Simon. I'm glad to hear that your 5 closest friends are pushing you to be a better person. And man, that's awesome to hear you're getting in shape. That's good. Are you doing any Apple Watch type thingies? Is that the motivator for you, or is it just a good workout buddy? Because I have found that I was much more likely to go to the gym when I had 2 really good friends who also went to the gym. I currently don't have any friends who go to the gym around me, so maybe that's my problem. All right, so Nathan said, I talked to my Spanish teacher, and he said that the new Apple Translate app is actually far more accurate than Google Translate, at least in regards to Spanish. I don't know about French. Ooh, Nathan, that's interesting. I think that app was new with iOS 14, right? And I think I deleted it because like I never used it during the beta period, and I don't think I have it on the phone right now. I haven't used it, mostly because I don't normally need to speak other languages. Let's see. Grant says, I don't know, my friends and I just have fun. We never really talk about goals and stuff, just having that time of our lives. Well, that's okay too, Grant. I think you don't really have to have those deep conversations, those emotions conversations. You don't need to have that. But on average, I'm talking about on average, these friends are likely pushing you in the direction that you want to go, or at least helping you along in that process. Whether that's just having the time of your life, which, this is the time of your life to have the time of your life. That sounds redundant, but we're going to move on. Simon said, I didn't miss one. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was making sure I didn't miss a part of a chain here, Simon. Simon said, I also motivate my friends to do better because now they all want a Tesla. Ooh, who doesn't want a Tesla? I mean, if you don't want a Tesla, then that's your fault. Scott has to go. Okay, Scott, I know you got to run. You busy guy. I can barely get barely get a hold of this guy. Scott is just so busy. Adios. Bye, Scott. Alpha says, I hate being a lone wolf, but I'm used to it, but I hate it. I don't show it much on the internet, but I'm so different from 99.99% of people. Well, I think that you can probably find someone who is close to you. I mean, out of all the people in the world, there's probably 0.001% of people who would be the same as you. Alpha said, don't know how not to make them mad, but I'm trying. Well, that is good. I'm glad you're trying. Simon said, friendship or any kind of relationship is work. It just doesn't exist. You have to mold it and make it stronger. Simon, mic drop moment. You have the mic drop moment of the evening, Simon. That is exactly. Relationships are work. Friendships are work. Not just romantic relationships, but friendship relationships are definitely a lot of work. But they're so rewarding, right? Because you have someone to rely on, and they have someone to rely on. But it is a lot of work. You're right. You gotta put the effort into them, and they're gonna put the effort into you. It's a very rewarding project. Let's see. Alonso says, I have 69 420 friends. Ah ha ha ha. I wish that I had 69 420 friends, but I don't have that many friends. I really got like maybe 5 to 7, depending on how you count them. Jordan says, you have your cube 1, but where is your cube home? It is coming, Jordan. One of these years, hopefully if I make enough cube 1 style projects, I can have my cube home. That's the goal. That's the end goal. See, you and Randy and Drew, they're all pushing me towards the goal of the cube home, which will happen one day. Simon says the Apple Watch helps a lot. Glad to hear that. Nice to the 69 420 joke. Grant says, I've been gaining weight ever since I stopped the activity challenges. Yeah, I have also had that same experience, Grant. Since I believe June or July of last year is when I stopped that because my knees kind of went out. I just have not gotten my butt into action. And at this point, I don't wear my watch like ever. I pretty much put my watch on Saturday mornings for the shows if I remember, and then like I forget to take it off until like Sunday when it starts like, you're dying, charge me, and then I don't put it on for the rest of the week. So I definitely need to get back into that, Grant. We should probably chat about that offline because I should probably get back on that running game because I really did enjoy running every single day. The Jordan Complex, which is Jordan, said, finally have an Apple Watch, but can't track my workouts because it doesn't fit under my boxing gloves and hand wraps. Ooh, you box? Oh, Jordan, I didn't know this. Ooh, this is fascinating. Let me just stop and drink that in. That is cool. I did not know you box. Yeah, unfortunately. I think actually they sell wrist bands for your Apple Watch. I remember this back in like 2015 or 2016 when the Apple Watch was new, but someone made some bands that fit onto your wrist, and you just basically do just like an other workout basically, and so it kind of just gives you walking, I think, is the credit for just walking. So it probably wouldn't be as accurate to actually boxing because that does take a lot of cardio. But then it wouldn't have to be under your on your wrists. Maybe like get like a little choker chain or something, put it on your neck. Anyway, Good at Life says, I have two main friend groups. If I'm ever stressed or want to relax with a couple guys to get decompressed, I'll go to them. But I've known them longer. That is good. But if I have any school/life related concerns or need some motivation, I'll go to the second group. We do similar things and share a lot of interests. See, that is good. I also, Good at Life, I hadn't thought about that until you've said it, but I think that makes a lot of sense. I do also have kind of two different friend groups. I have the kind of tech community, YouTube, professional, Apple people. And then like I have my, what I guess I call them kind of IRL friends who, they're friends from high school, friends from my childhood that I still keep up with. And I've known them longer. So yeah, whenever I want to do kind of, life things and decompress, I'll normally hang out with them. But yeah, definitely something with that similar interests thing too. Fun fact, the watch on my wrist has been dead for about 1.5 years. Wow. Well, that doesn't tell the time. Is it even right twice a day? I know most people say a broken watch is right twice a day, but if an Apple Watch is completely dead, it doesn't even tell the time, so it couldn't even be right twice a day. My goodness, my mind just got blown there. Good at Life says, I have to go, but hopefully I'll be back before it ends. All right, Good at Life, thank you so much for joining. If I don't see you in about 30 minutes, we'll be ending the stream, so you got a little bit of time. Simon said, time to change the batteries. That is funny. I've wanted to replace my watch because I've had it for 6 years. Red Fox has been disagreeing with my financial plans. Ugh. Interesting. I think Drew tweeted out there was a refurbished Apple Watch SE 44 millimeters for like under $300. And like I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks less than $300. So it was a pretty good deal. I don't know if you're in the market for an Apple Watch Alpha, but I think that was out there today. I saw that. Let's see. How's life been now that you are independent? Well, pretty crazy, honestly. And this is going to be a great segue here because I don't know what I'm doing, and I think that most people on the internet would say that they also don't know what they're doing. But yeah, if you haven't caught the news, my Cube One video kind of blew up a lot. Somehow I'm not monetized. Somehow I got like over 3,000 subscribers from that one video. I got like over 1.3 million impressions, 100 and probably 30 or 40,000 views. I haven't checked recently today. So that video kind of blew up. I wasn't quite expecting it, but I also wasn't not expecting it. It's kind of weird way to put it. In my mind, when I went to create the Cube One video, I wanted Cube One for myself. Like, if it would have been worth the financial input into the project and the time input just to have the Cube One for myself and get to look at it every day. That's wonderful. But the extra effort that went into making a video and editing and uploading and stuff, I thought maybe if I get like 5,000 views on my YouTube channel, I would be pretty stoked. And I feel like it would be kind of worth it for the whole video recording of the project. Now, obviously, the actual creation of it, 5,000 views on an unmonetized channel is literally nothing. But it would be enough dopamine hit for me to make the video making process worth it. So I had a basement threshold of like, I want to get at least 5,000 views on this video. Randy and Drew both said once I told them the project that it was going to get over 100,000 views. I'm like, no, that's crazy. You guys are crazy. And Randy even said that articles would be written about it. And I'm like, no, that's kind of, no, I don't know who else is going to like this, but like, I want it. Right. And so I made the little dumb video, and, within like the first like couple hours, it surpassed the 5,000 view mark. And that was kind of already insane. It kind of, at that point, after it passed 5,000, I'm like, oh wow, well, I guess it might go even further. That's kind of crazy. What might it go to? And I was like, maybe it'll get to like 27,000 views. Like I was like, maybe it'll get that far. I woke up the next morning. It's like, yeah, just going vertical. So anyway, all that to say, I had this video blow up. I've never really had anything blow up before. I realized that lots of people never get this opportunity, so like I'm super grateful and like super excited that it happened, but also at the same time it's like I wasn't necessarily planning on doing a lot of these Cube videos or that style of content, but like it seems like there's a market for it, and especially on the internet, when you find there's a market for something, you better just go in on it. So I have been working on 3, maybe 4 other projects that are kind of in the same vein as the Cube One video. But will kind of be that next step. So question for you guys, now that kind of know the backstory of like I didn't necessarily want to be putting M1 Mac Minis inside of other computers for the rest of my life. What do y'all think I should do? Like, you guys are my friends here. Like, you guys care about me as a creator, not necessarily just the content. I would hope. If so, this would be your cue to leave. But I'm kind of in an impasse here. Like, I think the next video that I'll upload to that channel will be like the wow, what the heck? Here's what's happening next. But I don't really know what's going to go into that video because I'm kind of, I don't know. Like, I can definitely make a few more conversions. Like, I have a list of like 7 or 8 other conversions that are A, feasible, and B, something I want to do. But after that list, I don't know what else I do. And hopefully there'll be other projects that come up along the way. And I know based off of the reception of just the Cube 1 video, I know I have at least 1, maybe 2 other really good ideas that will also get about Cube 1 level of engagement, hopefully more. And so, I have high hopes for this, but at the same time, I want to be careful and not just be known as the Cube guy, or the, guy who puts M1 chips into stuff, because at some point that's going to dry up. So, all right, let's read some comments. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and concerns on this. I would like to hear more. All right, Jordan said a while ago, so sorry I missed that. Boxing is new, actually skipping a workout to work on some editing and catch up on work. Back at it tomorrow, God willing. Well, Jordan, I remember you are a Mr. Editing guy, and how's that been going for you? We haven't chatted in a long time. I mean, I think last time I was out in San Diego, I didn't even see you. Did I? Maybe I did. No, we hung out once, huh? Yeah, we did lightsabers that last time. But it's been a while since I've just chatted with you. How's life going, man? Glad to hear that you're still doing some editing work. You still enjoying that? I know that was kind of a big switch for you career-wise. Hopefully that's going well. All right. Alpha says, no, it's right 24 times a year because it also displays the date of the month. Ah, interesting. Well, there you go. Simon says, congrats on the Cube 1. Thank you. I just got a used Series 4 for $160 on eBay. I know, those Apple Watches just do not hold their value on the used market. I don't know what it is with Apple Watches, but the used market is garbage. Like, when you get an iPhone, you have like a reasonably assurable method of getting the money back on it, at least some amount. You buy an iPhone for $1,000, you can be reasonably assured you can sell it for $700 in a year. Apple Watch is not the same. You spend like $800-$900 on an Apple Watch, literally 11 months later it's worth like $200, and you're just like, wow, that was painful. So I'm glad that there are good deals on eBay, but it hurts when you buy an Apple Watch new thinking you can resell it. I want an Apple Watch, but the Series 6 Blue is a little pricey. That is very true. Grant says, you can get a feel for what a good video is. Julian says, yes, they are, because they are pushing me to do good things in life. That is good, Julian. Simon said, I was expecting a good number for it as soon as I watched it the first day. It was really well shot, spoken, and the content itself was very original too. I don't know how you should follow, but maybe follow that kind of content. I would agree with you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I was pretty excited about it too. Actually, I had some pretty major editing issues that led to me kind of getting sick. Like, I was very ill. And we can talk about that in a minute after we get through some more comments. But yeah, making that video was very stressful. And it was the most stressful video I'd ever made. Nathan said, I got an Apple Watch several months ago, and I will say I use it less than I thought I would. It's good for getting notifications and the fitness stuff, the fitness stuff was motivating, but I haven't kept up recently. Yeah, I know. You got to wear the watch for it to be motivational for the fitness stuff. And I don't know. I just got out of the habit of wearing it, and putting it back on every day seems like a, extra step. And then I get my watch buzzes, and I just feel too connected to my phone. Anyway, Alpha says, I try to make relevant and funny videos, but the past few weeks, YouTube Studio has been reporting that they are losing attention. Part of me is getting really frustrated. Well, Alpha, first off, I will say you should never follow what YouTube says, because YouTube does not know anything. YouTube is always just the audience, right? There's an audience out there for whatever content, and the algorithm is chasing the audience. And when you're chasing the algorithm, you're never going to create what the audience actually wants. You have to be thinking of what the audience wants, not necessarily what the algorithm is currently promoting. Because in this fast-paced world, as soon as the algorithm has picked up on something, you're just a second. You're not original, and it's that originality that the algorithm is always looking for. Jordan says, "Can you get started on the Cube one you're sending me for my birthday in July?" Okay, thanks. All right, Jordan. If that's what you want for your birthday, I'll be happy to provide it for you. But unfortunately, for this birthday present, it's going to have just a one-time down payment of $1,500. But then after that, it'll be a completely free birthday present. Maybe, man. I'll think about it. If YouTube goes super well, I'll think about it. Maybe you could find some stuff to do with older Apple products and make them modern, and the same kind of content is always interesting. Yeah, definitely. There are a couple ideas like that, and I don't want to spill all my beans here on the internet because I think I still have some pretty good ideas that should be pretty easy to do. But then I also have some other ideas, which, again, I don't want to get too into specifics, but I think there's some good stuff, and I'm looking at the project right now. There's some good ideas to be had within smaller, more modern devices as well. Nathan said, "I think the Cube one was a really cool merge of Linus Tech Tips content and KBHD content in an informative scripted content. As of how to follow it up, I don't know." See, Nathan, that is about right. It's a lot of pressure. Like, this next video is to be really good, right? Like, if this next video isn't as good or better than the Cube video, then I feel like I, should find something else to do. But now this audience, like 3,000 people subscribed to me in the past week. They're all expecting a more Cube 1 type of content, and it's kind of crazy. So I don't know what to do. I'm with you. I have no idea what to do. So I think I'm just going to try to make another project and see how it goes. Jordan says, "Yeah, you came to my house and ate enchiladas while I played Star Wars Jedi Order LMAO, but yeah, it's been good. Doing more tech support than editing, but I'm editing my dad's internet radio show too." Ooh, that's cool. I didn't know your dad had an internet radio show. Jordan, I think we need to have him as a guest on our show. Ooh, an internet radio show. And if you blow up and need an editor, let me know. Jordan, all right. I promise you, if I ever get to the point where I need an editor, you'll be my first call. But I probably never get to the point where I need an editor because that would be crazy if I got to the point where I needed an editor. But I don't mind editing at the moment. Nathan said, "Adding to the Apple Watch discussion again, my Series 3 was only $100, shining brick included." See, you can get really good deals on used Apple Watch. I don't know why the resale value is just trash. But it's great if you want an old Apple Watch, like, Series 3 for $100. That's an awesome deal. Series 3 is still a perfectly capable Apple Watch. Jordan says, "When you get the chance, I have an iPad question for you. Thinking of picking up the M1 iPad when it drops. Is the 11-inch fine, or should I save for the 12.9? Well, Jordan, I actually sold my 12.9-inch iPad Pro not even a week ago. I put it in the mail on Monday morning. And yeah, I no longer have an iPad. It's kind of weird. I've had an iPad practically continuously since April of 2017. So I guess for 3 years straight, I had an iPad in my life, and iPad with Apple Pencil support actually in my life. And I have created tons of content on iPads. I'm a huge supporter of iPad OS. So much so that I invested like a little bit less than $2,000 into an iPad setup back a year ago. And I had the terabyte iPad Pro with Magic Keyboard and AppleCare and all that fun stuff. It is not something that I use anymore. And as soon as I got the M1 Mac Mini, that whole shift kind of changed, and I got Logic and Final Cut, and I started doing the more pro stuff that everyone says. And I was like, no, I can do it with LumaFusion. I can do it. And you can do a lot of stuff with the iPad in LumaFusion. But at the end of the day, the software just kept getting in the way. Like on the Mac, I have access to, inside of my video editor, I have a full Logic style audio editing suite, right? I have compressors and limiters and all this fun stuff that I can throw on to make the podcast sound as good as possible. I can even EQ some stuff. On LumaFusion on the iPad, you can adjust gains and decibels, and I think you can put up some hiss gates and noise gates, and I think even there's like a very limited EQ function in there, but it's not easy to access. It is super complicated, and at the end of the day, it's not very powerful on the iPad in LumaFusion, and that's just purely software problem, the A12Z chip is plenty powerful. And I know for a fact that the M1 chip is going to be just as powerful. So for me, it really just came down to software support. And yes, I'm sure come dub, Apple will be announcing some very interesting, more pro-like features, whether allowing full macOS to run on the iPad or porting some of their apps to iOS, whatever they end up doing. I know that there's going to have to be pro related because they have the M1 chip. But I think for me at least, I'd rather have an actual editing setup and, not try to keep dinking around with little things. And I also noticed, I guess, since I had two M1 Macs at the time, I actually currently do, but I have one set aside for another project, and then I have Cube One. I really wasn't using my iPad that frequently for the past 2 or 3 months. I was really literally only using it for FaceTiming friends and making thumbnails and over. And that was literally the only things that I was doing with my iPad. And so I was like, well, it's not worth the money just sitting on my desk depreciating. So I went ahead and sold it. I still kind of feel like I'm operating without my left hand because I do still have my Apple Pencil. I did not sell the Apple Pencil. I'll probably be getting another iPad at some point, but probably not one of the new ones unless the dub features are really cool. So basically what I did is I just sold the current iPad. I'm going to wait it out till dub. If for some reason at dub they announce some really interesting software features, I'll probably pick up a real base level 11-inch iPad Pro with the M1 chip. If that's exclusive, and if it's not, I'll probably get the cheapest iPad that you can get. So for Jordan's question though, on what the what was his question? Picking up the M1 iPad, the 11-inch or 12.9-inch. I would probably recommend the 11-inch. The 12.9-inch does have that nicer screen, but it's also $200 more. And at the end of the day, I never had a complaint about my iPad screen before, and I don't really see how the Liquid Retina XDR display is going to be all that much better, and maybe I'll see it in a while and my mind will be blown and I'll be changed, but I think at the moment that $200 price jump just doesn't seem justified. Also, the Magic Keyboard cases are going to be a lot more available on just the used market for the 11-inch, because the 11-inch is compatible with the old Magic Keyboards. Simon said, yeah, I lost 2 subscribers yesterday and didn't budge. If you think your content is good, stick with it. Improve what you know is not good, and people will eventually find you. Exactly, Simon. That's exactly how you do it. Yep. But also, I feel like I have a bit, in general, that's a very good strategy. But I also kind of feel like I have an anomalous data point at the moment where it's all right, well, this blew up and that's kind of crazy. And if I keep going back to making Nick and Randy eating spicy chip videos, it's probably not going to go anywhere. And the end goal for this YouTube experiment is to have it go somewhere. And this is not a bad place to go. So probably doing more content-y things. All right, iPhone 12 mini inside of an iPhone 6 Plus Barrett. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work, and I'm not even sure if that would work screen size-wise. Alpha says put an A14 inside of an iPhone XS Max E. Unfortunately, that is not how any of that works. It is a lot more complicated than you'd think, especially on the smaller scales, because the Cube had... it was a cube, it was the same dimensions as 8x8 inch as the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini was pretty much already empty to begin with, and there's a whole cube's worth. There's just tons of space, and there's tons of I didn't feel stressed fitting all the internals into the cube. I knew it would fit somehow. I just needed to figure it out. But some of these other builds, I've thought about putting smartphones inside of other smartphones. There's just not a lot of tolerances. Instead of the tolerances being measured in cubic inches, it's measured in cubic millimeters, and that kind of precision removes my ability to get out my hot glue gun and fix things easily. So anyway, Alpha says, I need a podcaster. My podcasting partner has been rather busy. You don't need to have a partner to do podcasts. There are plenty of very successful podcasts that are just one person talking. If you have interesting content, you should definitely pursue that. Barrett says, I won't do better in terms of views than the Cube one, but as long as you have fun, it still gets decent views, 10 to 20,000. You are still doing very well. I would agree with that. I think as long as I'm making something that I want to make and spending my time how I want to make it, is still a win. Still better than a day job. But at the end of the day, though, yeah, I am looking for the low-hanging fruit at the moment. Jordan said, future idea, doing crazy builds is cool, but not financially sustainable. Maybe get familiar with Blender and make some renders of old designs with updated features. Ooh, that's not a bad idea, Jordan. I haven't experimented with Blender yet. It's kind of been scary. I have this 3D modeling app that I used to have on the iPad, which I did get rid of, but I wasn't using it very frequently. That I could like dabble in some 3D designs and stuff, but not anything on the Blender level. So that's a good point, Jordan. I should think about that. Simon said, if they put Logic on the iPad and WWDC, I will sell my MacBook Pro and current iPad Pro and get it all in on iPad OS. See, for me, it's really about the expandability. One of the big things that I don't ever see them really fixing, unless like Dub is going to be crazy, is allowing camera inputs to OBS through the iPad. Obviously, it's now a Thunderbolt port, but iOS has always really locked that port down a lot. iPad OS, whatever. And barring them fundamentally changing iPad OS or just allowing macOS to dual boot onto the iPad, I don't really ever see them, adding that kind of pro level support, and that's something that I'm using right now, and I wouldn't be able to do without it. So, yeah, I would hope so, but also like the peripherals are kind of a big deal for me. Jordan says, you have a good idea for design, so just maybe make what you want, and the people who are interested will come. Don't want to fall in the trap of chasing virality. Very true, Jordan. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. But it's kind of hard. Like, I know that to be true in my head, Jordan. Like, don't chase the virality of it. But like, there's a part of me that's like, I need to strike while the iron's hot and find something else interesting. Because it does only take 1 or 2 videos to make a career on YouTube. And so if I can find those 1 or 2 videos in a arena that I don't mind and I enjoy creating content for, I think that would still be a win. And I wouldn't necessarily put that under chasing virality. I would put that into like chasing a career, and trying to make that sustainable, because now I'm monetized, right? So the Cube 1 video got me monetized, got me past that threshold. But by the time the weekend was over and the monetization review process all happened, I didn't actually start monetizing anything until like yesterday morning. And so far, I haven't checked recently, neither can I, because I'm uploading a video on my other browser at the moment. Actually, no, it finished. So anyway, I've made a little over $18 on the Cube 1 video. So it's like, all right, well, I'm monetized now, but that was not a financial success, right? And if I want to continue making these kinds of videos, these are expensive investments. I bought a $700 G4 Cube and a $600 Mac Mini to stick into it, and then I spent like 3 weeks of my life thinking about it, and then like 5 days of my life actually doing it. And I was totally worth it because I wanted this cube for myself personally. But for these other projects where, maybe it is a little bit more clickbaity, or just doing it for the views and possibly to build the career around it, the financial component definitely needs to be there. So I don't know. Yeah, Jordan. It's kind of this, chasing virality, but then also trying to create a sustainable business around it. So I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Like this has been interior monologue for like since Sunday when it started blowing up, like a week and a half ago. So I don't know. This is just it's a lot to think about, and kind of the next few decisions here are going to be pretty impactful on the future of the channel / my life. So anyway, big decision. Simon says, I love LumaFusion, but since trying Final Cut, it just lacks a lot. But now they're adding multicam and stabilizer, which is a big upgrade. Yeah, I saw that. I don't really use stabilizer a ton because I do use tripods. But yeah, I'm excited to see LumaFusion get more built out. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's ever really going to be able to compete with Final Cut on a pro level. There's so many little edge cases that Final Cut already has figured out perfectly, that LumaFusion is great for 98% of the content that needs to be made. But there's that little bit in Final Cut which is just makes it easier. Like, okay, there's a setting in Final Cut where sitting next to your playback, you can have a vector scope and a Luma chart, which for those of you who don't know, a Luma chart kind of looks like a whenever any of those companies are showing you, oh, it's HDR now, you can do HDR video, they always have a shot of a Luma chart, which is kind of like an expanded. You can see where the colors are and where they clip, where you can see the highlights clip and the low lights clip. Anyway, it's a very professional thing, right? But it makes editing a lot faster for me, because instead of having to look at the image as a whole and try to build that chart in my mind and say, is it clipping too much here? Is it not? I can just look at the Luma chart and just see, real quick at a glance, is it clipping here? Is it clicking there? Adjust the exposure how it needs to go. And then since it has a vector scope in Final Cut, you can pull up a vector scope. You can see where saturations are peaking. So you can have like make sure my green shirt is not, overly saturated in one spot. So anyway, it's just like these little pro things that are just really nice to have. But yet at the end of the day, I know I can totally edit a whole podcast on my phone, because guess what? I've done it a couple times on LumaFusion. So Jordan says, thinking waiting until Premiere is supported on iPad, but I feel like at that point it might be hard to get my hands on one with one of the supply shortages. I actually read an article that Apple hasn't had any supply shortages because, Apple is like such a big company. They command so much dominance that any chip manufacturer or any supplier is going to divert 100% of their available supply towards any Apple orders. So in a way, Apple hasn't really experienced any of these chip shortages. Okay, maybe one or two, but as a whole, it hasn't really slowed them down in the way that other companies have been. Alpha says, I'd only get an iPad for reading scripts, drawing thumbnails on Sidecar monitor for travel setup. Yeah, that Sidecar thing never really worked quite as well as I was hoping. Grant said, put an M1 and a G4, an iBook G4, LOL, JK, useless. What? It's not useless, it's a time piece of history. Alpha says, great, don't know why I'm generating a headache. Uh-oh, I'm sorry you got a headache. I use Keynote for my animations. It's very bad, but it was enough to make my intros for the channel. So yeah, see, Keynote is actually pretty powerful. Apple did a whole series of iOS UI mockups that they did in Keynote. And anyway, you can find one of the developer videos from, I believe, Dub 2018. But anyway, I need to get moving through the chat here because we're coming up at the end of the show. I'm not sure if you noticed, but the movie podcast ended with Mike talking at 14 minutes. Oh, interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Movie podcast. All right, I'll take a look at that. Nick, what do you think about mentioning the upcoming thing, if you know what I mean? We can definitely mention that, Nathan. Nathan, if you didn't know, Nathan is an audio artist. He makes great music. Well, he's a producer. I believe him and his friend Luke are the artists, and he is the producer as well. But anyway, they did an album. It is, I don't remember the name at the moment. It has some really crispy songs. Interpretations. The only album I've purchased in a long time. Their band or group is called Torch Decade, and you can find them on any streaming platform or on iTunes if you want. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna be revamping a lot of the thought process here over the past couple days has been like, all right, this is a thing, I need to, step up my production game once again. So I'm trying to license some music with them because they have some really good songs, and Randy has not been available to make songs for me because he's moving or something. Blah blah blah. Excuses. But I'm excited to be able to use some of Nathan's music in some of my videos and intros. So at some point, probably not in the near future because it's not high on the priority list here, but the Ansuini, like the introduction, video for the Ansuini Live is probably going to be redone with some of Nathan's music and some new drone footage that I've taken. So just things like that. Then I'll be doing that. So I'm really excited for that, Nathan. We're still working on the details. I need to figure out which songs I want because there are a lot of good ones, and I've listened to the whole album probably 6 or 7 times straight through, and I can't decide which ones I like the most for different things. So anyway, Alpha says, I hear Randy's taking a vacation for a bit and need a podcasting guest. No, we are good, Alpha. I appreciate you asking, though. We have a good number of people in the backlog of people that we want to have on our show. Simon said, gotta follow when a video does way better than others. In December, a cover I did of an Architect song. Architect song? Is that a thing? Of an Architect song did way better than the previous videos. So I followed with more Architect songs. Same content. Yeah, definitely important to strike while the iron's hot. Not necessarily to chase the virality, but establish yourself as that person professionally. Final Cut is just too good even on my 12-inch MacBook. Ooh, 100% agree. 12-inch MacBook crew. Grant and I did virtual fist bumps right there. You guys couldn't see it, but Grant and I just did it. There is no way any of my Macs can handle Final Cut. My iMac can barely even handle an older version of iMovie. Oof. Well, Alpha, sounds like at some point we need to get you on some newer computes. All right, I'm going to give you all the 5-minute warnings, something like that. So put your final thoughts in the chat here, and we will begin to wrap up as I finish up all these chats here. Grant says, but for editing HDR video, it's the easiest on iMovie directly on the iPhone. Yes, the iPhone 12, I believe you have an iPhone 12, Grant, 12 Pro? No, you have a 12 Pro. Yeah, the A14 chip is definitely going to scream way past the anything that the M5 Mac 12-inch MacBooks can throw at you. Simon says it's my mom's birthday tomorrow, and my dad will buy her new purple iPhone 12 mini maybe. She's rocking an original SE now, and the battery is completely shot, needs to charge 2 times a day. Well, exciting for her because that purple iPhone looks super crispy. I've seen some YouTubers do unboxings and stuff, and it's like, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would get the Thanos phone just because that's good. So I'm excited for you, Nathan. I'm excited mostly for your mom who gets to use this awesome phone, but definitely great. Hopefully she doesn't watch the stream. Otherwise, the birthday present has just been spoiled. Simon says, I'll check out Nathan's albums for sure. Definitely do that. How do we type the artist? I will see. Can I grab a link to this on iTunes? Let's see. Show in iTunes store. Oh, share. There was it. Dang it. Hold up. Song albums. There we go. All right, hold on. I will get you guys a link. I'll put it in the chat. Where is it? Recently added. There we go. All right. Share. Copy link. There we go. All right. I don't use the Apple Music thing. So here's the Apple Music link for you to Nathan's album. That is that. All right. Nice. We can't wait to hear it. I'll be releasing EP 2 on June. Almost finishing it up. Awesome. Any plans on doing a studio tour anytime in the future? Those interested in gear workflow? I'm sure lots of people are. Those kinds of videos do well, even if they're one-off. Yeah. I wouldn't mind, Nathan, but it just seems like it just keeps changing. I could change my lighting setup. I change my background setup like every day. And, I'm going to get the new iMac here pretty soon, which we didn't even get to talk about. AirTags hopefully will come tomorrow for me. Obviously, pre-orders will be early tomorrow morning. But yeah, so those are, I don't know. I could probably do one if you ask me nicely, which I think you just did. So I might need to do it. Hope y'all enjoy it. Thanks for the plug, Nick. Of course, Nathan, we're always here to support each other. That's what friends do. We might not be each other's 5 closest friends, but we're definitely in our, 50 closest friends. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll definitely always help support each other. No worries about the free plug, man. I appreciate your work, and if anyone else has any interesting work that they want to let me know about, happy to take a listen. And if it's really as crispy as good content is, I'm always up for promoting it as well. Architects in a metalcore band. I made Randy way into it now. Ooh. 12-inch MacBook game. Grant and I did do a fist bump. Now you guys saw that. Thanks for the stream. They're always fun. Jordan says, final thoughts. Heather and I are planning on moving out of San Diego in a few months. We might end up on the East Coast, but we'll see. Ooh, I know someone who's moving to the East Coast, Jordan. Hope that you and Heather do well in that move. That is exciting. Kind of be sad, though. Not going to be able to see the cute pooches in California anytime I go, because Kika and, oh boy, is it Winston? Uh-oh. Oh, what's his name? Oh, no. What's Heather's dog name, Jordan? Oh my gosh, he's the cutest little dog. I sit with him every time I come. Anyway, all right, I'm embarrassing myself too much. Got it. I'll listen tomorrow. No worries. Nathan says, one suggestion for the main channel, Nick, you should add the other channels, Nick Picks, Ansuini Live, in the featured channel section. Nathan, can you show me how to do that? I've heard other people tell me that I should do that. Text me after. I need to figure out how to do that. It's probably a Google search away, but I've been I need some motivation. So you can help be one of my 5 closest friends and motivate me to do something positive here. Can't wait for my AirTag. Yeah, Grant, I can wait for my AirTag because I'm going to have to, because it's not coming any sooner than tomorrow. But they will be coming tomorrow, which is pretty exciting. I'll definitely do a live unboxing, and I'm probably also going to do a Grampy Reacts on this channel, because I haven't found a better place for those. So yeah, I'll get my grandpa to react to the AirTag, probably after I unbox it, after I get it all set up. We'll probably do a little quick Grampy Reacts to that, because it wasn't a popular video. I think I only got like 80 views, but like a lot of people commented like it's really wholesome and I want to see more of this. So I'll definitely do another one of Grampy Reacts. Sometimes I wonder am I doing everything okay? Am I interesting? Am I not? I don't know. Anybody's not watching any of my videos. Well, Alpha, you just got to keep making what you want to make. And at some point, hopefully what you want to make will line up with what other people want to watch. And that's how I didn't really think that the Cube video was going to do all that well. Randy and Drew were like, oh yeah, it'll get 100,000. I'm like, who wants to watch someone put a computer inside of another computer? Sounds kind of boring, but Renton. Jordan, it's Renton. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Renton. Cutest little pooch in San Diego. I can officially say that now because Kika is no longer in San Diego. All right, those are the other places, like Spotify and Amazon. Yeah, it's all over the place. Nathan's album's all over the place. Julian added to the library. Thanks, Jay, if you're here secretly. See, Jay is lurking. Oh, not following the rules. Jay, if you are listening to this, you've broken the rules. Therefore, next time you poke your head up, you will be banned in the most friendly way possible because you've broken rule number 1, which is participation, my good friend Jay. Alrighty. I will leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for joining on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday afternoon on the 29th of April, 2021 for yet another Ansuini Live. Hope you guys have a very good week. Enjoy that Apple AirTags delivery window tomorrow. Hopefully everyone gets their AirTags soon and on schedule and in full, and they're not missing any pieces and they all work. So I hope you guys have that. And also, if you're pre-ordering anything tomorrow morning, definitely set your alarms for just a few minutes before so you can get on the Apple website and be all ready to go. Anyway, I've been Nick. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.